Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about unit testing. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with whether or not you should do unit testing or if it's a good idea, it's a bad idea, what your use cases are. I'm not going to talk about anything about this. I'm actually going to make a unit test video that is hopefully relatable for an absolute beginner or a very junior profile as a developer. Now, to give you a little bit of context, I will first tell you a little bit of a story about one of my subscribers who reached out as a response to one of my videos and explained an issue. So this subscriber had very recently tried his hand at completing basically a midterm for JavaScript. So he had 4 hours to complete, as I understood it, a certain set of tasks in school basically. And the problem he was facing that he found very difficult was that he had an array of numbers basically, and he was supposed to sort those numbers in some order and also get the average of all those numbers, and in other words combining all of that and getting the average of those numbers right. Now that task was something that he felt was a little bit tricky because he's struggling a little bit with arrays, and so I immediately reached out and I said, you know, as my response to him was basically, you know, ask me stuff like give me some indication of what it is about arrays that you find difficult, and I'll make some videos about it. And I will make a few videos about this, but what I want to touch on here is that this is one of those rare scenarios where I think that a junior developer can really appreciate how powerful unit testing can be. Just walk through me, or rather I will walk you through my thought process here. So this sort of problem is a pure computational problem. In other words, he needs to write an algorithm to solve this problem. And the issue is that writing the code, regardless of if it's easy or it's difficult, doesn't really matter. A unit test is a beautiful way to assert if you got something right. So what I would suggest in this type of scenario, in order to actually practice something like understanding arrays or understanding how to get an average from an array of numbers or sorting it or whatever, this is a beautiful use case for it. I would install Jest or Mocha if you prefer Mocha. There are a few others, of course. And I would create a unit test with an array of sorted numbers, and then I would create a function which takes this array, an unordered array with the same numbers, and then I would assert through my testing framework that the return of that function is that same sorted array. Now, how great would that be? I suggest that you actually have a look at this, and I really urge you to do something of this nature in order to practice your ability to write efficient code. Hey! My girlfriend just came home. Hey, I'm making another video. Is that okay? Okay, cool. So my suggestion is that you should, as much as possible, adopt this principle, because what's beautiful about it is that this thing that he found difficult and basically was struggling with, by writing a unit test, you know, after the midterm and doing it on his own time, by writing that unit test or a series of unit tests, he could actually achieve learning. He could actually try out different strategies for solving this problem, Google in its own relaxed environment, and the unit test will tell him when he gets it right. And what's even more beautiful about it is that you will hone you will learn about writing unit tests. And even though you don't think so, and as a beginner they're not that important, but if you want to be a professional, you should know about test-driven development. And this is the essence of test-driven development. You write the test with an expected result, and then you write code until you meet that result. So it's a perfect use case for training your ability to write an efficient algorithm. And I highly encourage you as a junior developer to have a look at it. Just try it out, because you have nothing to lose. It's a win-win situation. You will get to practice your ability to write code that solves a given problem that you're struggling with, and you will have a way of knowing when you're actually successful without having to do a lot of manual work. And the trifactor, 3 things are positive here, and you get to practice unit test. I just highly encourage you to take this approach. That's what I would do. I can tell you right now, you may have seen one of my other videos where I was showing you an actual live example of a Java algorithm. Now, that algorithm was way, in that video I actually show you that all the unit tests pass. Because when I do complicated algorithms, anything like that with a lot of, regardless of if you think it's complicated logic or not, it's logic that I need to test. And by writing a unit test, I can make sure that, by the end of that video, I could actually be certain that the code that I am showing to you beginners, or you might be a senior, I don't know, but the people that are watching, because the unit tests are passing, I can be sure that my code is actually working, so I can be confident that I'm going to show you the right thing. So that's my tip to you. If you want to have a really cool, efficient way to practice your ability to write effective algorithms, start by downloading a testing framework, write a few tests with an expected outcome, and then you can practice against the test. It's almost like having a sparring partner. It's great. Have a great day.